the afternoon, but I guess most people will call it evening. It's 7 p.m. where I am, so good evening. Welcome to the greatest man alive. People need to stop over-philosophizing about NatureBoy. Another way of saying it, people need to stop over-philosophizing about the man that people refer to as NatureBoy. He's currently in prison, so that is what it is. Anyway, let me share the stream. Let me take a walk. All right. Thank you to all my viewers. I see I've registered viewers. Every view is a blessing. I see a like as well. Every like is a blessing. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you can also comment. Comments are a blessing as well. I read comments at my discretion. Those of you who've been here already know me. It's Chimoge here, founder and owner of OZ Bang. For the new people, let me give you two new pieces of information, then I'll get into it. It'll be pretty simple, this live stream. So, first, I was born in Southeast Washington, D.C. And second, I'm currently 28 years old. Yes. And I'll leave it at that. You know my opinion about giving the exact age. Anyway, this NatureBoy thing is really simple. You see, we had a case of a very extreme criminal who formed a cult and was allowed to talk about and display his crimes publicly along with other things. And then we had a situation where the world at large waited way too long to bring him to justice. And he's currently in prison now. From what I checked, he's in prison for life, and they added some extra stuff on there to signify on him. But again, you know me, I'm a house arrest person. Especially given the type of crimes he was committing, I'm not sure putting him in prison will get him to stop. And just for the record, just because someone is a criminal doesn't mean crime should be committed against them. So that goes both for him and for the people he could potentially abuse in prison. Let me walk. what you he hey ho her. Anyway, I've just seen a lot of over philosophizing about this issue. Okay. And I don't want to get into it because a lot of it is really not appropriate. I'm just going to say two things. One, we know a lot, it seems, or we've heard a lot of things, but I'm not sure we know most of what happened, especially when you get into relevant detail. Things like his full motive and who helped him. And I'll leave it at that. So I think we need to change this culture of thinking that investigations are quick. Thinking that an investigation into a crime is quick is like thinking that a war will be quick. Okay, and let me not philosophize about war. You know me, I'm not for crime. I'm not for the type of wars that tend to be waged in the world today. But when you look at war philosophically, and I mean, can't even say it in English, natu matu, think about it in the heart of idea, okay, no bichuku. Think about it conceptually. War sometimes must happen, right? But I want to know that can happen without any violence. Okay, let me just clap to that. But conceptually, you should never expect a war to be quick. And if you say a war is quick or is going to be quick, that's a form of fraud. Now let's think about investigating a crime. If a crime was complicated enough and the public is weak enough that a crime needs to be investigated, as in it didn't just get lapped up right away, you also have to wage a sort of war, right? And I think, given the amount of public outcry about this individual and what he did, I don't think justice has anywhere been close to done, and I don't think we know everything. So people just need to think about and say, okay, if I'm interested in this event, let me contribute to the investigation and see how I can do it. And there are many ways to do that. I think the easiest way to do that is to see if you can find people who were there, because many have spoken out, and I know clips of some speaking have been going around, but that person's full story is not just a 2-minute clip of them speaking. If they were abused for years, there's no way that can be. So things like talking to witnesses and also reviewing the data that authorities have put out publicly are ways people can help with investigations. And then displaying that data in detail as much as possible so people know. Let me walk. Again, I go for walks just because I don't want to stand still when I'm speaking. Okay. Anyway, um, so that's the first thing. We need to investigate more, and obviously that's an in-person thing. The second thing I'll say is that people need to practice um, speaking about things and looking about things with the appropriate underlying orientation. I'll be honest. A lot of the commentary I've seen on this, not all, but a lot of it, seems to have been done for the personal pleasure of the commenter. Um, Obviously, people should enjoy their work overall, but your work, um, you know, if your work involves talking about serious things, you're not supposed to literally take pleasure in every single aspect. So things like talking about crimes like removal of life, violation, things of that nature, in the innermost detail should not be pleasurable to the one speaking. And I'm going into this because some of the focuses people have taken taken. Things like talking about, um, obsessing over the gender of the gender combinations, for lack of a better quick term, and I won't go into it more because I don't want to go into bad territory. Things like focusing about the gender combinations of abuse and abuser, things of that nature, is not really appropriate. Because at the end of the day, if you see someone who abused people all across the gender spectrum, um, there's no need to really focus on one particular combination. Let me move. Anyway, that's what I have to say. So, people just need to stop over philosophizing and take action. Because, if you're not getting involved when you clearly feel compelled to, because, if you're making much more content about it than you usually do and putting much more effort into it than you usually do, and you're talking a lot, chances are you should probably add, not that you should stop making content, but you should probably add in person action, okay? And then, if you find yourself just looking at little details, and then, I'll be blunt, taking a church angle on it, because the church is obsessed with gender combinations, things of that nature. And when I say the church, I'm being crude. There's not just one church. Let's end this practice of just saying the church. Let me leave it at that. Let me even walk. So, yeah, just you get the message. This is Kyle Icon. Hand of God. I'll unpack this more. Um, and that's really it. Uh, let's go to the 17-minute mark. Um, and yeah, that's really it. Anyway, just stop over philosophizing about the nature boy thing and take action. Um, yeah, that's it. And yeah, anyway, let me just amble about. Huh. Yeah, yeah. People need to stop over philosophizing about the nature boy issue. And I see the comment. Thank you very much. Hello to you as well, Lizzie RGQ. Okay. Just take action. Anyway. People need to stop over philosophizing about the Nature Boy case. Take action, take appropriate action. Speak appropriately. Don't say more than necessary. Ka, Amadioha. Amadioha, he, hey, ha, ha. Abuma Madioha, ka. Abuma Madioha, nu, ya. Abuma Madioha, ka, ke. Ke, kara, ke, I am a Madioha. Abu mama dio ha. Abu mama dio madio he he ha. Abu mama dio ni me wa. Abu mama dio ha ball be. Abu mama dio Abu mama dio ha anyway. Abu mama dio ha. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll be out of here, but you'll see me here later today. I don't think I've gone live for the last couple days. At least the last 24 hours. I need to check exactly when the last one was. Been resting, but I'll do some more today. Anyway, see you guys next time.